Hey, we're talking this week about community support, and today we're going to talk about the challenges. And yes, it's late in the day. We had some challenges, but it's all good. All that more on episode 793. Wow, I can't believe that. 793 of today's Antidote.
Stay tuned for today's Antidote, brought to you by the Renegade Success Network. Today's Antidote features a healthy dose of thought-provoking insights and information for business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, and nonprofit professionals. Each day since March of 2020, this program has offered that one thing to help you continue on your own unique pathway to success. And now, Renegades, we bring you Bob Graham and Tom Brush.
It's late in the day.
And we're on different sides. I'm going to leave it. You know what? I'm going to leave it alone.
Okay, this guy's totally messed me up.
I'm going to mix things up a little bit today.
And it looks like you're in some sort of retreat facility.
I am actually in a tiki bar in this place that I'm staying down in Florida. A friend has been renting this for a month, and they have a tiki bar and a huge deck and a beautiful view onto a lake in Florida. So I'm not
first world problems.
First world problems, no doubt. No doubt.
Well, that's
Very
good. And you were out today officiating, and we were trying to do the program earlier, and one thing led to another, and it just didn't happen. So correct. Apologies to those of you who were at the edge of your seat this morning waiting for us. Things happen, and you roll with it, right?
You do. Though for those of you on the podcast, you don't know anything different unless you were looking this morning at 7:30 to find the latest episode. So apologies to all of you for mixing things up a little bit. We thought we've been doing this the same way a long time. It might be just a chance to do something a little different.
Yeah, I got to tell you, this is so weird to be in different places on the screen.
All right.
No, it's fine.
No,
I can manage. It was bothering you, wasn't it?
Not at all. I want you to be comfortable, Okay, all
right.
You ran your hand through your hair already, and it's not even that stressful so far.
So I've never told you this, I don't think, but there's a point with my hair after about 10 days after I get cut where it starts to feel really thick. And I shouldn't even be telling you this because this is not what you want to hear, but it gets to a day where it's just annoying to me and I want to get it cut. Like in a perfect world, I would get my hair cut every 10 days. Now right now I'm at about 18 days is how long I'll go. And I go in and get cut.
Wow, that's a lot of haircuts.
Well, I also, if it's short, it's less gray. And it makes me look younger.
So there's a little vanity there in this. Is that what you're saying?
Vanity, and it's also a little rewarding myself for some of the things I've changed in my life.
Dude, do you realize that you have gray hair on your face that you leave there all the time?
I do, and I've been told that's distinguishing.
But it's not distinguishing on the top of your head? Just on the chin?
That's what I've been told. By several people. Including someone you met.
You got some good friends who
you have some good friends
telling you what you want to hear, I
think. Well, that's a first. You should follow their lead, Tom.
Well,
once in a while, just for giggles.
If I left to just do whatever like everybody else, who knows where you'd be. Oof.
That's it. So
scary.
I have thought about, possibly coloring this a little bit. I keep seeing those ads on TV. They become more and more compelling.
But if somebody told you that it was distinguishing, why would you, and you are a person who likes, the positive reinforcement, why would you change?
And from the right person, that's all that matters, right?
Correct.
See, there you go.
Correct. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. No, well, actually, it's not morning. Sorry. Good afternoon.
I was going to say.
You're talking about getting into a routine and doing things the same way all the time. There you go.
For those of you west of Hawaii, good morning.
Right. That's right. If you're on the Pacific
in the Philippines,
Rim,
right?
yes, it's morning time tomorrow. So not only are we a day late and $1 short, and I don't know. So anyhow, good afternoon, early evening for those of you. I happen to be sitting. I should have figured that out. It's so nice with the sun setting, little breeze here, just like that in Baltimore, right, Bob?
There's a little breeze here, about 45, 50 miles per hour.
There you go. All right, everyone. Well,
it's coming in my patio door.
Yikes, that's not good.
Yes, yeah, it's been a little cold today.
Yeah, we had a little breeze out on the field today too. I think it was 72 with a little breeze, I think. All right, everyone. Well, welcome to today's Antidote, our daily broadcast and podcast where each day Bob and I share our thoughts and ideas around a topic. As Bob mentioned in his opening, our topic this week is community support. And today, as he shared, we're going to discuss the challenges of that go with that. And as we go through that conversation, if you have thoughts or ideas that you would like to share, please feel free to put them in the comments. And because we know that it'll add value to the show, might even impact what Bob and I have to say. Likely it will. And at the conclusion of that conversation, Bob and I will each offer our one thing, our today's antidote, that thing that we hope will help you figure out how to take your next step. When you're stuck, frustrated, uncertain, lacking confidence, don't have a strategy or a system in place so that you can move forward to achieve the goals that you desire. And of course, if you have a one thing that you would like to share, please feel free to share. Even if you seem to think, well, why would I share this? Everyone knows this. They don't all know it, and they don't know it in the way that you would share it. So please share your value because it might be exactly what someone else is looking for. Before we dive into that conversation, though, each day, Bob and I do our celebration. So, Bob, what are you celebrating today?
I'm going to celebrate the fact that someone that means a lot to me actually invited me into his family's NCAA basketball tournament bracket and said that because this person talks to me as much as he talks to his family, he felt like I could be an honorary member. And that person is you. And that meant so much to me to be included
you
in
just
that.
Outed me to everybody else that I didn't invite to be honorary members.
And
they're all waiting for their invitation.
I guess they have to do a podcast with you 793 times, and then
there's the standard.
So you're good for 2.5, almost 3 years.
That's right. I like that. Wow.
No, it was very nice. And you know, you and I started it with the business relationship in terms of helping each other with business. It's become a really important friendship. And when we talk about community, I think you and I have a community, just the two of us.
I would agree. Not sure anyone else even would want to be a part of that community. I don't know. Who knows?
Well, that would explain why when we're at the Panera, people are disappearing.
Yeah. You know, if they had to listen to our conversations, they'd be like, you two are insane. But anyhow, yes, we do have a community of our own.
Very, very kind of you. So now I've got to pick my team. So I guess by tomorrow evening.
I think Thursday. I think you have till noon Thursday.
Okay.
Because you get that, like, you know, the play-in games, they kind of like, you get either team. It would be fun some year if either team ended up winning the whole thing.
Oh, that would be so awesome.
Could you imagine what that would be like? All these people who are like, their brackets are ruined because the 16s, or not even the 16, because they don't think they play in. It's like the 11 or the 12. Or 10
it was 11 and 2 16s, I think, were playing in. Yeah. Remember
so the winner of the bracket is
University of Maryland, Baltimore County who'd they beat? Duke, right? 16 beat number 1. Virginia, that's right. 16 beat number 1, and that was quite the stir.
Yeah, and I think they almost won the next game too, which was
certainly a David versus Goliath situation.
Right. Although I don't think they played in the play-in game. I think that to me was the cool. If you start out with, okay, you don't even have
very low chance. Yeah. You're not even in the top 64.
Yeah. You just get to pick these two teams and see if they could go all the way. So, you know, don't worry about choosing one, because if you could have either one and they could go forward, I think that would be interesting.
I like that. I like that. So what are you celebrating today?
I'm going to celebrate the fact that I'm 3 days in down in warm weather, and I haven't.
And you're not coming back?
Well, there are thoughts that go through my head, and that I haven't really been beat up on the field. I was
beat up physically, right?
Physically.
Not. No, I'm sorry. fitness wise, right? Not
Correct.
a coach or player beating you
or
up.
parent, or yes.
Tom officiates girls and women's lacrosse, and I believe you're officiating women's lacrosse, college teams,
Yep.
right?
College, yes.
Okay, so
And
no,
when
the way you said that, it sounded like you were expecting someone to beat you up.
Well, I kind of wonder about that every time. There's always parents who are a little bit. Yeah, I had the other day. It's great. Had this team from New York, Long Island, probably, and they have a great accent. Sorry to all those Long Islanders who have an accent. And clear as day, I hear them. Some call I did or didn't make or whatever, and some dad up there was like, "You're an embarrassment to the officiating." He used like the initial abbreviations. Community of CWLOA is what it's called. And he's like, "You're an embarrassment to the CWLOA community." I was like, "All right, that was a new one." And they're
Bravo.
Well, here I am out on the field trying to provide an opportunity for his daughter to play.
Right.
And I'm the embarrassment, not the guy sitting up there yelling stupid stuff.
Oh boy.
I was like, all right, whatever, dude.
You're a night owl, aren't you? You're
What's
not
that?
a morning person. You're a night owl. You're not a morning person, are you?
I don't know. I've become more of a morning person.
You are much more peppy now than you are in the morning.
Oh, dude, I'm outside. It's sunny, and there's a beautiful lake down here. I ran around all day. I got a little energy. And actually, today was, like I said, today was nice. Yesterday was the same. Had a little breeze. Sunday, it was hot. My first day down here was hot. It was 2 Division II teams.
I'm sorry, Tom. Be strong. You'll be back in Baltimore where the weather will change every 12 minutes.
Yeah, I know. But they were running pretty hard, and I was, I hadn't, my travel got not messed up. It was just late, and I was a little nervous about, not necessarily my fitness in the sun, in the heat, and so far it has not been. Outside of that day, it was hard. These last 2 days haven't been too bad, and I get 2 night games coming up, which will be good. So that's what I'm celebrating, is that. It has been warm, but it hasn't been like so hot, which it could be, that I would be really struggling there. So,
okay, nice. So we're talking about the whole idea of support within communities. And I thought it was interesting today. I moderated a group on Alignable. We have a group, Grow Your Small Business? Yes, that's the name of the group. Sorry, I was blanking. And we had about 15 people from that group on a call, Zoom call, where we were talking about what community was. And the prompt was, what's your favorite community and why? And when I asked that question, they were going to go into breakout rooms. And at first I could see everyone just sort of like, what does he mean by community? I don't know what that is. This is a weird question. And someone said, can you explain more? And I said, no, I think you'll figure it out. And they said, well, what do you mean by community? I said, that's for you to decide. And I think that's a really important point in regards to the challenges around community, is it's often defined by a situation. Think about it. You're in a community right now. You're staying at someone's house. It sounds like you have a couple of officials there. You're a community. You went out to dinner with some of the people last night. It didn't sound like you typically go to dinner with those people. So you formed a community. We're all in Florida. It's great weather. We're going out to dinner together. You have a community on the field of the officials, the 3 officials. You also have the community of all the people there at the lacrosse game on a beautiful March day in Florida. You have the community of parents. You have the community of the students. You have the community of the community surrounding that, where all the businesses are getting additional business because you're there. And we have all these communities. And I think that creates a challenge, because sometimes it's hard to figure out which community we're a part of and which of those communities we're looking for what from. So, if you went out last night with the folks, and I'm assuming they're officials as well, you may have been looking for I just want to not think about officiating. I'm in Florida. I just want to have a nice steak dinner or fish or whatever you're having and not think about it. but someone brings up, hey, can you believe the way these calls are going and the way the field is? And you're like, oh, this is not the community I want to be in, but I'm at dinner. And hard to walk. What was that?
I was trying to do a little promo for Propel, thinking maybe they'll sponsor our show.
Oh, okay. It was too subtle. You got to like jump out there.
I thought if I said it right here, and then it was not high enough. So it's like,
okay. All right. So I think that's one of the challenges is what community do we belong to? I don't think we think about it as much as we probably could. And then when we're within a community, what does that community want from us? And what do we want from that community? And more importantly, what do we need from that community? You know, I think of, I have a friend who went to James Madison University and he lost a job. And he told me a couple of days later, he said, the amazing thing about the James Madison community is I posted in their alumni Facebook page that I'd lost my job. And he had 8 offers that afternoon for jobs. That's a beautiful, I mean, so here he is, I don't know what I'm going to do. And now I've got 8 offers for jobs. That's a really vibrant community. He told me he didn't know that community would support him in that way. And when he realized that, that actually inspired him to be more involved in that community.
sure.
And to look at the opportunities and post his job postings in there. And so we have these give and takes with communities. You know, you and I have a community with the Facebook group, and we do some things in there. And I think we support people in some ways. And then we also have the alignable community that we're building, and we support those people in some ways. And you and I have other communities that we've been involved in. And I think the biggest challenge to me is that whole idea of, all right, what do I want, need from this community? And what am I willing to give to that community? What do you say to all that?
It's interesting. It's a little bit of a different take than I was thinking about. You know, I think and I think that makes sense. I think really it's trying to be clear of what's in the community, how you can leverage it and how others want you to leverage it, right? You know, you sometimes have the James Madison community in your example could have been like, well, this is not really where we do that.
Right.
This is more about events and opportunities. It's not about people out looking for, you know, with their requests.
Supporting people who are struggling with work situations.
Right. There's another community that we've set up for that. This is for something else, you know, and I think as long as we understand that, you know, and I think that's part of it too, is like, we're trying to create communities where it's not just come in and pitch your goods and services. It's where you really try to create relationships. And so someone who thinks, wow, here's a group with our Ring of Renegades with 1,200 people, and I'll just get in there and just start telling everybody how I have all the services they need. And then they find out that that's not really what the community is looking for. And so I think that, you know, so I completely understand where you're going with there. One of the things I was thinking, or two of the things I was thinking about was, one is that we have so many communities and so many opportunities with each of those communities that I think one of the challenges is the fear of missing out of something going on in the community. You know, like I would imagine that some of the people that know I'm down here are thinking like, wow, that would be kind of fun. I wish I had thought, or I wish there had been an opportunity that I had considered doing that as well. And I think if they share that, then there's opportunity to figure out like, okay, how did it work? What happened? How'd you make it work? Who do I need to know? Who do I need to be connected to? So I think those things are some challenges around it. Then I think the other thing is, and this I think is maybe where I see one of the biggest challenges, is comparisons within communities. You know, I've been in communities where someone else is doing, you know, whatever. So I was with a group of coaches. I was in a community of coaches for a year where we were getting support from each other, getting support from a coach. And I know that within that, there were times when people felt like, wow, why am I struggling so much and someone else is having so much success? Or vice versa, you know, like why am I, you know, I don't really want to share all my, you know, we would do some sharing a celebrations, and I don't really want to share mine because I don't want it to seem like I'm bragging, because I know these 3 other people are really struggling with where they're at. And I think that sometimes can be a challenge. I know at the gym I'm at, most of the time it's not competitive. Yet sometimes they do these like special challenges, like a 2,000-meter row or a mile run or whatever, and they post like by age group, here are the top 3 people. And so, there's sometimes that feeling like, oh, why couldn't I have been this, or why couldn't I have been that? And so I think that sometimes those comparisons within communities make it hard for the community to really serve the purpose that it's trying to serve. And it's natural, right? It's kind of like emotions, is that we have them, and we
Right.
see those things, and we want to still benefit from the community. Yet if we can't get past that we're all different and we're all unique, and that what they're doing doesn't necessarily have any impact on what I'm doing, it could be hard for you to really thrive in that community the way you would want to.
So, for instance, the entrepreneurial community, everyone seems to be doing really well. Why am I not having the success everyone else seems to have? Because I go on TikTok, I go on Instagram, I go on Facebook, and everyone has great pictures. And there's that guy again with the beautiful wife or girlfriend and the nice car. And he's at a nice beach location. And I'm still here at my office trying to figure out QuickBooks.
Right.
Yeah, I think that comparison can really be a confidence killer, right?
Sure. 100%. 100%.
Yeah, yeah. I've gotten wrapped up in that. There are days where I'm like, wow, everybody seems to be doing exactly like so much better than me.
And I think that it's one thing if you're just seeing it in general. I think also if you're part of this community and you're all with a similar goal, and yet you're wondering, like, why is it that they're achieving the goals they want and I'm not? And I think it drives you into that space of judgment. And as we've talked about for the last few weeks, how judgment can really get you stuck and overwhelmed, frustrated, and really unconfident about what to do next.
Yeah, I like that. It's funny. Your angle and my angle together sort of bring it all right into focus.
Look at that. Amazing how that happens.
It's like we scripted it, yet we didn't. Who would have known?
Who would have known?
So are you ready for your one thing, your today's antidote?
Yes.
All right, go ahead. I'm ready. Bring it on.
Oh, you didn't want to go ahead first?
Nope, I didn't. That means I don't have one yet.
Yeah, fair enough. I think that I think like with anything, there are always going to be challenges.
Mm-hmm.
There are going to be, and within any community, people aren't always going to be on the same page. They're not always going to share the same interests, or they share an interest, which is why they're in that community. Yet outside of that interest, they don't share as much.
Right. They may have different values, different beliefs, different approaches, different tools that are available to them.
And this is an interest of mine. It's just not the interest of mine.
Right.
Or not the top interest. And so I think sometimes we just get stuck with where we fall within all of that. And that can become a challenge for us to really find the value of the community that we desire. And for others in the community who feel like this is the top priority and this is their big thing, why aren't you more invested and engaged in this community? And I think that sometimes really creates strife within the community, which is the last thing that you really want, right? You got together because you share some common interest or something in common, and you want that to be of value and you want to leverage it. Yet there are many other factors that could come into it where the community doesn't have the support, doesn't have the value that you thought it might.
I like that. I'm going to go in a completely different direction. Something just popped into my head.
Okay.
Which is often around a community. I want a community to be a certain way when I want it to be that way. And another time I want it to be a different way. And I'm frustrated when it isn't what I want when I want it. You know, why isn't everyone saying how
Like
amazing? What's that?
You sound like a little kid. Not my going the way I want it. I'm going to want it different.
Am I any different than anyone else? And we also think that communities should be mind readers, right?
Yes.
You know, if there's community people that I know that I hang out with, they should know when things are going wrong. I shouldn't have to sit there and say, hey guys, I'm having a bad day. Hey, this didn't work out. Hey, I really don't know what I'm doing. You know, that's a hard thing to say within any community.
Sure.
Right? Because we all believe that everyone's got the complete confidence. You know, I was talking to someone today. I was saying to him that I bet Elon Musk and Bill Gates and when he was alive, Steve Jobs got up in the morning like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I got an idea. And they did it much more publicly than you or I. So their figuring it out was all in our eyesight. And I think that's the thing to me, that we want community the way we want the community, but we're not willing to express that to the community, or we're not willing to have that give and take.
Yeah.
You know, because to get it a certain way, you have to give it a certain way. Right? Like I can think of one specific community where I complained about something, and lo and behold, before long I was on the board. Before long I was the president of the board, because I raised a valid issue. And it's like, oh, okay, you see this community a certain way, put your money where your mouth is. And that's perfectly, you know,
of course,
I think that's a good thing. That's how you build a community. And within that community, because I got on that board, I became part of the community of that board as well.
Yeah.
So, and that gave me some confidence around my business in some ways, because I got to know those people better, and they weren't mythical characters. They were real people that had real problems, you know.
I like it. All right. If you have one thing you'd like to share, please feel free to put it in the comments. And if you're listening to the podcast and we know there's no place for you to comment at the moment, please join us inside the Ring of Renegades Facebook group, where you can share your thoughts and ideas. And while you're there, you might find something that you've been really looking for, and what you share might be exactly what someone else is looking for. So please come in and share your value, become a part of our community, and hopefully it will provide what you're looking for.
I got a really good movie recommendation from that community, our Facebook group. Yeah, I posted what was your favorite business entrepreneurship movie, and there was one that I'd never seen before.
What was it?
So I can't remember the name off the top. There's the tease to get people to go to the Facebook group. Go to the Facebook group and you can see it.
Nice save. So if you want to go to the movie, no other reason except Bob can't remember it. Well, he sort of can remember it, but he doesn't want to share it.
All right, you keep talking and I'll look it up.
Okay. That's all right. People can go. I'm all right with that they want to check it out. This, it's our private little group that anybody can join. And yet we don't want to give away all of our secrets. Kind of like the officials. We don't give all of our secrets, even though you keep asking.
We want you to be part of our community.
Yes. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for being with us today. Special note, we will not be broadcasting tomorrow. We just we got some things going on, making it hard to figure out. We will, though, be back on Thursday and Friday, and then we'll continue. Bob and I are starting to realize that when one of us is traveling, it makes it sometimes challenging to do this, and we should just record the whole week. So it's a lesson learned that we can figure out how we can do things differently and not beat ourselves up over it. So unless I decide to pop on at 7 tomorrow morning and just chat with people, we'll see. Anyhow,
you could do that.
We hope that you go out and enjoy your day. And if we don't see you inside of the group, we'll see you Thursday morning, 7 a.m.-ish, for our next episode of today's Antidote. Enjoy your day, everyone.
Hey, and also embrace the renegading you. I know most of your day is already done, but as you head into the evening, still a chance, still an opportunity to embrace that renegading you. It's so worth it.
Yes, it is. All right, everyone. Enjoy your evening. We'll see you soon. Thanks for listening to today's Antidote, powered by the Renegade Success Network. The Renegade Success Network helps you confidently create your own unique pathway to success. To learn more about the Renegade Success Network and how you can take your next step, follow us on Twitter, connect on LinkedIn, or join the Ring of Renegades Facebook group. For full details on how you can join our community, go to renegadesuccessnetwork.com. Embrace the renegade in you.